Hi there, this is Kathy Crow, and here I am at the Crow Cottage, and I am so glad that you joined me. Thank you so much for coming and seeing what we're up to today. It is good to be back. It was a long 2 weeks for me. We had a really good time with our family, and I am so glad to get back to normal, but I'm sure they're even more glad to get back to normal. I mean, isn't that the way it is with vacation time? You look forward to it, you know, can't wait, and then it happens, and then it's all over, and you're pretty exhausted. Now, it was pretty easy for us. My daughter, I'm sure if she's watching, would say, "What did you do, Mom?" I did all the cooking, and she, took care of her 2-year-old daughter too. So she was still doing all the routine of a mom, and I got to just play with our little granddaughter. She's so cute, and I happened to find Jeff and I were at a new. I might have mentioned this at a antique place. We found this brand new. It looked like it had been totally trashed, but for really cheap, we got a brand new Barbie Dream House. I mean, one of the $200 ones. It was a really nice one. And I didn't expect Julia to enjoy playing with it, but she loved it. Hi, Trudy. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me. So she played with that a lot, which made me think, oh man, because that's actually going to our other granddaughter. And I thought, oh man, we're going to have to find one for little Julia too, because she really enjoyed playing with Barbies, which was warmed my heart. Our daughter Mary played with them a little bit, but not a lot. And, she probably would dispute that. She might have played with it a lot. She didn't play with them like I did. I played with Barbies a lot. So it's nice to have some Barbie doll players, because I got rid of all my stuff when I was a child, but when Mary was little, I started collecting for her because I thought she would like it. And now, she took some of her Barbies, but most of them are mine. And I would like to pass that on, All right, because I don't play. I actually don't. Okay, you're going to laugh at this. I don't play with my Barbies. I really don't, I promise. But I did find, oh man, these are stunning. Look at these old patterns. I mean, do you remember making Barbie doll clothes like this? I do. I loved it. It was fun. I couldn't afford to have a wardrobe. I couldn't afford a Barbie doll wardrobe when I was little. My parents couldn't. And when I was a teenager and still liked sewing stuff, I did make some because I could afford to dress my Barbie doll the way I wanted to, but not myself quite the way. Oh, do you remember this one? I think I had this one. Anyway, I was glad to find these on eBay. Now, I haven't done them yet, so let's just wait and see what I end up doing. It is celebration time. This is an exciting time of the year, so I am going to tell you all about that as I go. Oh, man, I just got a glimpse of myself from the backside as I went. I am going to be doing our New Year's resolutions because, seriously, 15 pounds. I have got to get those 15 pounds off. It's driving me crazy. And when I just now saw my fat rolls hanging out over my pants as I got up to get those Barbie doll patterns put up and put away. It just reminded me. Yeah. They fit. The pants fit. They just don't fit quite the same. Anyway, so today I am going to show you some things. You're going to love this. Now today, beside me is the stamp set that I'm using. This doesn't have any dies. I have fussy cut some. I've got everything all prepped. So what I'm going to do today is going to go through pretty quickly because I want to show you several cards and what you can do, mainly because this set is just a fabulous set all on its own. Of course, it's a Father's Day one typically, but I like to use these all year long. These make great guy cards, but they also make great kid cards. They make great anytime parent, thank you for being such a good parent kind of card. Even for a woman, they do, because, we put a lot of effort into training our husbands, right? So, a lot of women can take the credit for some of the good that comes out of that. Of course, it does go the other way, too. A lot of the men can take the credit for having a good wife. It's true. All right, now this is Delicate Desert. Comes with the Desert Detail set. So I am only going to use this paper. I've kind of used a few, but I'm just showing you the DSP that I'm using today. This is all new in the new catalog, the new mini catalog. And you are going to want as much of it as you possibly can. This is this Ready to Ride paper, and I'm using a lot of it today because, I mean, look at it. It's seriously great. So I will tell you what I'm using as I use it, but I'm using a lot of that because it has the tire tread. It has a lot of good things in it. And it has nuts and bolts, has those wrenches. It's a glossy black. And then there's fire. There's actually this sheet has these little cutouts that just are standalone kind of cards with very little embellishment needed. I may not use a lot of that. I do think I'll use these. This reminds me, this motorcycle and the stamps that go with this, reminds me of that Born to Ride. Do you remember that? Wasn't that what it was called? No, not Bike Ride. That was an actual bike. I'm not seeing it up on my shelf. I thought I had, look, I think it was Born to Ride. Anyway, I really liked it. But this motorcycle, when I will get to it, I'm not doing all those stamps. We're just sticking with this stamp set today, but I am using a lot of this paper also. This is Enjoy the Journey. Goes with, boy, what's the Journey one that it goes with? It must be the Kayak. Adventurous Journey, although I have used that. I didn't use this paper with it because I might not have had the paper at the time. I don't know exactly how my orders came in, what I ordered first, paper or stamps, but this paper is perfect for this stamp set because since they're all looking off into the horizon, there's a lot of horizon here in this DSP for you to use. Trudy, have you gotten any of this stuff? You're going to really like it because you can put this there. We have so many stamp sets from the past and present that you can use when you've got these wonderful horizons. You can cut it, you can make a bag out of it, seriously, but why would you do that? Because you can cut these into pretty small pieces, like even this. I've saved it. This was the end of my card that I'm doing today, and I'm saving it because I will use that. You can get a lot of cards out of just this one little pack of paper. This one is good for waves, for sky. Of course, they all have a nice pattern on the back too. So if you get tired of doing a horizon, then you'll be able to do something else with it. Anyhow, so that's that. I think, is there another one? Oh yeah, there's the Starry Sky. I haven't even gotten into that. Oh boy, this one's going to be really good to stamp right onto, don't you think? You could make nice little foresty things with trees and everything with that green. And this is going to be really nice with our desert stuff. We have a taco stamp set that our beloved upline lady did. And she's been working with that Taco Fiesta a lot. It's so cute. I have done some things. I'm kind of waiting for her to finish because I know her stuff's going to be fabulous. And I don't want to mess up what she's doing, basically. And I also don't want to be disappointed by what I make when I see what she's done because she comes up with all kinds of great ideas. So if you're looking for anything like that, go over to Erica Serwin's page and see what she's doing with Taco Fiesta. There's lots and lots of great things. All right, back to Beside Me. Today I have assembled everything, I think. Let me see what I've got. Okay, so here's for our first card. I've already got everything all ready to go. What I did is I took that Adventurous Journey paper, as you can see, just cut out this little square. I didn't really want to have the sun in it. Because, we don't tell our kids to look at the sun, right? In fact, we tell them, don't look at the sun, shield your eyes. You glance at it, glance away really fast. We want to see how cool things like this are, but we have to be careful not to hurt our eyeballs with the sun. So I actually didn't want to have the sun in this, but he's pointing at something, and I do have an airplane set, and balloons, all that, but they were so big, and I didn't want to just put, you know, birds in the sky this time. And I'm just doing super simple card for this first one. This is Cajun Craze, just cut out at your standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then this is Soft So Saffron. And let's put it on here, and then I'll guesstimate what it is, because it looks like it's a 4-inch piece. I'll bet that's 4 1/2, or maybe even 4 1/4 by 4. I bet it's 4 1/4 by 4. That's what it's looking like to me. And then I didn't really measure anything. I just cut it and then laid this right on the So Saffron and cut around it. That's why I'm not even bothering to give you real dimensions here. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I want to stamp on this before I put this on here. So we're going to put our sentiment right on this DSP. And I think our little people will fit right on there nicely. And then we can get a pretty good sized stamp. Now I could put a tag and all of that, but I think I like this. I like a sentiment like right on this. If you want it to really pop out, you might want to emboss with white, but we are not going to do that. All right, I know what I want. This is like, this is not, I'm not doing any Father's Day cards today. And let's put this down closer so that you can see more what I'm doing. I've got out my Well Said, because there's a lot of things in that. This is our Desert Details. This one actually is quite nice. Sending warm rays your way. That might be nice here. Let the fun begin. That also would be good. You are what sunshine feels like. Now, I think that one will be perfect for this. I really love this Desert Details. I'm going to be using this because it has great dies. I'm just not doing it today. But this is a great stamp set. I'm really liking it. So this is the one that actually goes, I bet, with this paper. This desert paper. Okay. You are what sunshine feels like. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to stamp that in Cajun Craze, since that's the main dark color that I'm going with in this. I really like that sentiment. It's nice. You can use this for any kind of a greeting. It doesn't have to be any particular holiday. And it's nice to have some stamp sets like that. Some sentiment stamp sets. I don't think my other cactusy one, southwestern one, doesn't have. Okay, let's stick you guys in there because I want to see where you're going. I think we're going to put this right in the middle. I could put it over here. Now I'll put it over the sun. Let's see how this is inking up. It looks pretty good. So our celebration is started in January, obviously, January 5. So it's been going on for about a week, not quite a week. My Cajun Craze isn't quite as dark as I would have liked, but we're living with it. And it's going to go to the end of February, February 28, actually. So if you are in the market for buying some things, this is when you want to do it. There's a lot of free things available, lots of free things. There's some really pretty paper. There's some, fun stamp sets. When my daughter was here, I said, okay, these are all my freebies. You take what you want, because she had to make room in her suitcase, of course, to take that all back on the airplane. And I was really, thank you, Linda. It's nice to see you. I hope you had a great Christmas. Boy, so my daughter took a lot of stuff, which I was really glad for, because I can use it to give to people. But, you know, she doesn't have as much money to spend on stuff as I do. So I like to be able to spread my joy around with her a bit. Okay, so we're going to put dimensionals on that. I did fussy cut it out. I colored this background petal polished pink just to kind of match that. And so I wouldn't have to cut all the way around there. And then it'll be easier for me to put my little mini dimensionals on here as well. But anyway, it was I'm so glad you know that the owls and everything, they are so cute. Of course, I always like everything, so I'm pleasantly surprised when she takes a lot of stuff because she's younger, doesn't have the same tastes that I do, and I feel like, in fact, the longer I live, the more old-fashioned I feel. It's like, wow, I guess I'm ancient now because I don't understand anything that's going on anymore. I just try to keep to myself. I guess I shouldn't say that completely. You know, thinking about our New Year's resolutions, I bet they're pretty much the same for most people. They might think they're all modern and everything, but pretty much where people are the same. So now I'll put that on another card, you know, at the end if we have time. But I'm gonna keep moving on because I want to make sure you see everything that we're doing here. So this one, I used all three of the images on this beside me. There's all of these, they're all great depictions of what a guy does with his kids, you know. There's the fishing, teaching to ride a bike, just the general, isn't that great? Look at that, because you're a small little peewee, you won't even look at it. Our little 2-year-old granddaughter, when she was here, it was fun to be, it's been a long time, frankly, since our kids were 2. So it has been a long time since I've remembered how hard it is to get kids to see things. So we had deer run through, not our backyard, but the neighbors, like right behind us. And we have a really good view of the whole back. You know, there's a green space, and then there's several yards. Like we can probably see in 5 backyards back there. It's a pretty expansive view for us. It might not be for some people, but it's really big for us. And since it comes right off of that green space, we haven't seen a lot of deer come through there because they generally are on the other side of our street in that green space. But anyway, we were saying, Julia, look at the deer. Of course, she totally missed it. We saw it, though. We adults, I think we all saw them. They were pretty cool. They were running along quite fast because it was cold, I guess. I don't know. We were all freezing in here during our Christmas, not the whole, thankfully. It was only like the first 4 days, I think, of vacation. My blade on my cutting board's obviously needing replacement because I see a bunch of fuzzies there. All right, now this piece is pretty large. Let me tell you what this DSP is. It is, you probably know because it's in the main catalog. This one is Gingham Cottage. It's a big, thick piece. Has tons and tons of colors. It's all gingham, a buffalo check kind of gingham. Oh man, I love it. It's so nice. It's like a serious go-to. So that is a great sheet of paper. If you're looking to just buy what you absolutely need, you definitely need this. Now this piece is a basic black. It's 7 7/8 actually, because I wanted it to come in a little under the 8 for a thin, you know, skinny card. But it's a little fat. It's actually hovering right at 4. It might be a tiny bit more than that. So this Gingham Cottage would be about 3 7/8. And it looks like it is right at 7 3/4. Okay. And then this is from the motorcycle paper, whatever that one is that I showed to you. I guess I could pick it up and look at it. It would be good exercise for me to bend over and pick it up and look at it. It's Ready to Ride. That's what it's called. Okay, this is the tire treads. We're gonna put that right here. And that way I can get all 3 of these images on this card. This is gonna be a really nice one. This one is gonna be a guy card for sure with tire treads on it. We took our in-law and our son-in-law and our daughter, and the 2-year-old even actually did pretty good to our Route 66 car museum. I always have to think what it actually is. It's really fun. They have a lot of cars in there, and oh man, they really enjoyed it. And I don't even think they're huge car people, but they say, we're not either. We enjoyed it. Now this, I cut these out with stitched squares and stitched shapes. That's kind of what my go-to when I'm all really desperate and quick. You know, stitched shapes. They don't carry this oval anymore. I don't think they have stitched shapes, but they have things that are close to it. But we do have stylish shapes is what the square was, and then the stitched rectangles. Sometimes I use those interchangeably to get exactly the size square I want. And I just stamp, you know, I just cut it a couple of times to get it the size that I want. So we've got this little void here. I'm going to stick the guy's feet on that. So stick that there. I'm not going to put any backing on these. I'm kind of just going to let them hang here on dimensionals. And then we'll put a tag or something on here, okay? All right, so what are your New Year's resolutions? Do you have any? Did you go for any of them? I was working on the 10 pounds before the kids came because I knew I was going to eat like a pig, and I did, and I enjoyed myself a great deal. But, and I tried to behave myself. I actually didn't gain as much as I thought I was. I was afraid I was going to gain a whole nother 10 pounds, and I never lost the 10. I tried, sorta, you know. It's holidays. It's hard to be good. So I kind of tried, and so while they were here, there were a couple of days I had to do the intermittent fasting thing just to not blimp up too much. And so we're going to put this one here like that. So that was good, actually. That helped quite a lot. And but I gained 8 pounds while they were here, plus the 10 that I still hadn't gotten off. So I'm back at that. One of my resolutions is I need to get out and walk more. I do ride my bike down to the park, but it's cold now, right? So it's hard for me to get out as often as I normally would on the bike, just because that breeze blowing on me, it's pretty cold sometimes. Even when it's like today's sunny, probably going to be in the high 40s. I would normally be out. I guess I've gotten wimpier or something because I'm just not getting motivated to get out there on the bike like I should be. So that's another one of my resolutions, to either walk or get out on the bike every day to get this weight off. And plus, I love being outside. Today, I did sit out a long time looking at our birds. They are so fun to watch. So I did enjoy that. Let's see. I don't want that to be too much there. So we'll do that. Now I've got all 3 of those sentiments there. And I think we're going to use this little Let the Fun Begin. This is also from the Desert Details. Okay, Let the Fun Begin. Doesn't that look perfect for this? So let's do that. I wonder if I have a tag all ready to go. Let's peek down here. I might. I have a bunch of white tags, usually. So I might have one in here I can use. And if I do, that'd save us a step. That one would work, maybe. I like these flags. This is from Stylish Shapes, but I don't know if that'll really work. Let's see. No, I don't really like that. I actually think another circle or oval or something like that would probably work better, but my Let the Fun Begin is going to have to be in a kind of a long version. That's too short. Okay, I could just stamp something and cut it, I know. They're all going to be too short. That would be perfect, wouldn't it? If I guess I could do Let the Fun and then Begin. I could do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to use this. We'll see how it goes. And I think I think we'll be all right. I don't usually do this with these cling stamps. It's really easy to do this method with the ones that you can see through, but clings are tricky. So, you know, it's probably going to be crooked, but we'll give it a go. So we'll do let the first, okay. Right off, I can see I'm going to have to trim my stamp because it already messed up my tag really bad and it's too far off. So I am not going to do that because that's not going to work. Plus, I do need to trim off this stamp. So as you get your new stamps and, you know, you're stamping with them, when you come across one like that for whatever reason, it could be just because you're pressing too hard like I was, or it could just have like way too much of this rubberized border around it. Sometimes that happens. A lot of the time, in fact, it happens. Don't be afraid to trim pretty close to those words. Just don't trim into the words. And you do want to make sure you've left all the support behind the words. At times, I have trimmed too much of my foam and not left enough support. Okay, we're going to have to go with a bigger tag. That's all there is to it. So... we'll do this one. All right, that's much better. Much better. So that one can go like right there. Cute. Let the fun begin is perfect for dads. My kids, you know, they were really blessed because I'm the practical one. You know, I don't know that I was that much fun for my kids. I tried to be at various times, and they would say, oh, Mom, you were too, because they're very kind and generous. But I don't know. They would also, if they were being perfectly honest, remember the times I wasn't that much fun. Dads are always pretty much fun. They should be. But, you know, they're not always either. Depends on your age, I guess. When you're little... they can be pretty fun when you're... Should we put it on his behind or on his back? Let's kind of go for the middle section. We'll cover up his little love handles. That's what we call them. Okay, those are cute. We could put a little, you know, the dimensionals. I'll come back to that as we get going. Let's just keep going for now. Here's another one. The biker. Little biking kid learning how to ride a bike. One of our kids refused to ride a bike, and I'm so sorry for him, but he could learn probably anytime he wanted to. Now, this is that bike ride paper, or ride a whatever it is. So, I'm such a terrible salesperson. You should just buy everything. Go into the catalog, just buy everything. Then you don't even have to worry what the name of it is. Right? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this like right up to the top almost. So there's not a lot of black border showing on the top or bottom, but most of it is on the sides, just to give that visual run along with the tire tread thing. This is... what paper is this? This is, did I show that paper? I think I did. This one, oh yeah, this is the Delicate Desert. This is kind of a surprise one. It has lots of really great texture paper, but this one also has this interesting kind of, it's the Desert Details border stamps and other ones on there. It's a nice texture paper, but it also goes really well with this tire tread. So I'm using that. I'm using Old Misty Moonlight just because it happens to match my balmy blue background better than some of the other blues that I have. Some of those other blues are way too strong. I think we'll just glue this down. Since it's a DSP, I do want it to be nice and flat. I still haven't seen any of your resolutions. You guys are making me feel bad if I'm the one, only one having to lose pounds. Okay. Some of you have been pretty diligent in your dieting, which is great. You're good. You're a really good example for me. Okay, so this is a stitched rectangle die cut piece. I'm so glad I thought stitched rectangles had been taken out of the catalog. I'm so glad I was wrong. Oftentimes I think you know, dies are taken out because they aren't in the newest one. They're in the main one, and I just overlook it. There's always so many dies, and I keep using all my old stuff, whether they're in there or not. So I don't have things moved out. They're all just jumbled together so that I do actually use all my stuff. Now let's see, where do we want to put, oops, I put it upside down. Oh well, we're gonna go like that. Like that. And then we'll put some dimensionals on this side and we'll glue the other side of him. That's what you want to do when you're doing dimensionals and trying to keep things level and not getting stuff so high, you know, that you're not gonna, you don't want to have to be paying that much for postage. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, now this cries out for a circle. Or, this is a cute tag. I'd kind of forgotten about this one. Oh, we do have this really, I love this new tag set. This is from the Two-Tone Flora. It's Something Fancy Dies. Now, these tags are all going to be too big for me, but I wanted to get it out just to show you there's these different layers of tags, so you can very quickly mount them to the color you want, and you're not going to be limited to just the white, like I am going to be on this one. Let's see if there's a round. There's a little mini round one. Nah, too small. I might have to actually cut out a circle. Oh, I do see something here. Ha ha ha, there's one. There's a stitched circle. That'll work. That one's pretty large. Maybe we'll stick you over there. It's pretty bright. I might not want one as bright as that. We will maybe sponge that into more of a color that I want, because I don't want black, and I don't want, you know, I don't really see anything there that's gonna work. So let's see here. What have we got? We've got gray granite. I think that's probably more closely to what that color is. So we'll just do. One other thing that's in the new catalog are these little mini sponge brushes. So cute. Really like that. So we'll just sponge you, make you a little less stark. You're pretty white. Pretty white. And I don't mind having some texture on it. There, that's better. I think that will work quite nicely. And we will want black for this sentiment. Oh ho ho, I see the one I want. Beside me all the way. Love that. So cute. Do you remember teaching your kids to ride a bike? Do you remember being taught? I remember very clearly. I love riding bikes, and I have for, I think, my babysitter taught me. I had a babysitter who was a really good one when I was in kindergarten. And they probably had a bike. I probably didn't. I probably had a tricycle. And I know I had a tricycle. I'm thinking I probably didn't have a bike. And that might be one reason I didn't know how to ride a bike. And so they taught me. I'm so grateful to them. It didn't take long. When a kid is ready to do it and they are motivated to do it, I mean, that was the only issue we had. Was we had one that just basically later on told us, yeah, I didn't want to learn. That's why I didn't. Okay, so we're gonna put that right there. So cute. And now this one's gonna have to have not dimensionals, some kind of embellishment. We will come back to it. My colors, in case you're wondering, this is So Soft Succulent, So Saffron, Balmy Blue. This is a combination of Pale Papaya and Pumpkin Pie. And then the flesh tones, you know, you just need your flesh tone pens and figure it out. Because I've got like different ones. And I do have to admit that with the flesh colors, I use mostly Stampin' Up, but I often use a Copic pen as well. Or Copic, however you pronounce it. So I can't tell you what I used with the flesh tones because it's possible I went over it with a Copic pen. I did a Stampin' Up one that went over it. If I thought, like for instance, I wanted the dad, yeah, husband, whatever. I wanted the guy's legs to be slightly darker than the cute little pink skin of these little guys, because usually in our family anyway, my husband's a coach, so he was in the sun a lot, so he was always much more tan, much more so than this guy. But I wanted him to have darker skin than the kids. They often do. Guys who do stuff outside, they do. So we've got Balmy Blues and Smoky Slate and so Saffron. And then this one is Ivory and one of the flesh tones, I don't remember which number, for the shorts and the hat. And then I've got a little bit of Cajun Craze just to start that out and get a little more definition on this shirt with a light pumpkin pie, and then finishing with a pale papaya, light pale papaya. His hair has actually got a tiny, tiny bit of Cajun Craze in it. All right, so now we're on to the next one. So cute. I'm just loving this. Now we're to these what do we call them? Horizon type papers. So you can see what I've cut it at. I just took out the part that I wanted. This is 6 3/4 by 4 inches. And I'm putting that on a soft seafoam matte piece. That's just a 1/2 inch wider and longer. And one of my resolutions that I decided I need to do is I need to get in there and clean my fridge a little more often. Do you find things in there that you're wondering, oh, that's fresh? That hasn't been in there that long, and then you find the expiration date on it, which is not always an easy thing to find. And then I'm stunned at how long they've been in the fridge. Now, if you are commenting and I can't see, I am so sorry. I cannot do anything about it. Facebook, for whatever reason, it's not become friendly to me in seeing comments at all. I'm trying it on my phone now, and that's slightly better than my computer, but it's still, I miss things quite often. And then when I go back and see, well, come on, how come I would, I don't know, but I couldn't. So anyway, if I miss your comments, I do apologize. I do read all of your comments afterwards and try to respond when I have time to do that. And I do really appreciate your being with me, even if I seem to be ignoring you. I'm really not. And I wouldn't be if I could actually converse with you. But my phone, this phone that's right here, I could see the comments on that. But of course, that's pointed down, so I cannot see those. So there you go. They just, I don't know if I have settings set wrong so that I'm not seeing things in real time on my other devices. I don't know how to fix that. So, all right, these little guys, I took the fishing poles off because they are just sitting in this. My kids love to go to our church camp with my husband. I only went a few years, so I did go some, but he's the one that gave them a love of volunteering at church camps. And they we all grew so much spiritually going to church camp. So I would really encourage anyone to do that. And that's why there's no fishing pole, because my husband does not fish. We're not blondes, but we also don't fish. Now for these shirts, I used Fresh Freesia as the light color, and underneath is Orchid Oasis for the lines for all of them. This one was Highland Heather. It does look very similar, doesn't it? This one I used the light Highland Heather just to give him a darker colored shirt. For their pants, I went over with soft seafoam first to give it a khaki color, and then over the top with ivory. And we're going to, I don't think I can just stamp right on. I'm going to get this one out. This old one is Colorful Seasons. It hasn't been around for a very long time, but I really like this Just Breathe. May all your tomorrows be as happy as today would be good for this too. Oh man, all of them would be. You Make Me Smile, Life is a Beautiful Thing. Actually, all of them would be great. But I think we're going to just do the Just Breathe. I don't know if I can get that in here dark enough. I'd have to use something pretty dark. Let's look at our tags and see if I want a tag. I don't like to obscure the horizon with a tag usually, so let's see. But the ink is kind of modeled a little bit there with the way they did it, so I could actually stick a tag in here and it probably wouldn't. Doesn't detract too much. It's a little large. It would let me put some embellishments on there if I wanted to. I've got a longer vanilla piece that I might actually like better. It's a little softer in color. So let's do that one. And this is going to easily fit on top. Now this one came with tons of great dies. So I've got my little lawn chairs all cut out. This was one of my favorite pieces. Oh, I forgot that scalloped pieces in there. Who has this one? I love this one. Where's Just Breathe? Where are you? Just Breathe was one I think I would have liked to have used it a whole lot. Oh, it's this big one right here. During our COVID exile with our masks on our face, I would have really loved to use this one more. This is perfect. Nice and large, and that's exactly what I want. And it's a photopolymer, so I can actually see through it. That's good. Let's do our Orchid Oasis just to make sure it's nice and dark. I want this to be really dark. I think I might want to test it though. This color actually doesn't look as orchidy because our Orchid Oasis is quite blue. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to go ahead with a Gorgeous Grape instead. It's going to be more purpley rather than bluish purple. And I think it'll still be plenty dark enough. Let's try that on the side and see how it compares. Yes, much, much better. All right, so we'll put that right on here. Perfect. This is, I don't know. Whenever I find a stamp set that is one that I use quite often, I always am saying, oh man, I love this one. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorite ones. Well, it's true. It's just that I have a lot of these that are like super favorites. When I get them out, I think, oh yeah, I got to get that one out more. All right. So that is going to go right on here. And I don't really want it raised because I want those guys to be the ones that are more of the focus. And then for their hair, I think I probably used some light pumpkin pie for the lines, and then So Saffron to make them look blonde, a reddish blonde. We have a lot of reddish blonde people here in Springfield, which has been very pleasant to see. Okay, I love that. Very, very perfect. How about this one? This one is So Saffron with that little bit of horizon soft succulent cut out. We're going to just put that right on. This time I left their little fishing poles on. And for this one, I use soft succulent dark for the lines, and then light for his shirt, and then pool party for hers. And this is soft saffron with just dark mango, I think, for his lines, and some dark mango, soft saffron, maybe some daffodil delight for their hair. And then for their pants, boy, it looks like I started with a lighter blue. I'm not sure which one I started with. I ended up with balmy blue to try to make them look like blue jeans. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm not really 100% sure what that first color of blue for all the little lines to get the highlights. Can't really tell. It's a very bright blue, and that seems unusual for me. I don't usually start with something too light. or bright, I tend to go with the lighter colors that I can cover up if I don't like what I'm getting, and then keep going. Okay, now I'm telling you, this is easy to fussy cut out. I know it looks hard, but it's just a line around. The fishing poles, you're not going very close, so it was actually quite easy. The hardest part was just by his ear and right here, and even that was very easy. So these pieces, although you don't want to have to fussy cut them out, actually is not a big deal. I've done much worse as far as it's been. Now, I do have to admit that I am not going to get any dimensionals on the fishing poles. That would be asking too much. Let's do another mini there. And there's probably not quite enough room on that. I'm not going to do that one either. I'm going to peel these off on the side over here, trying to keep all, I've got so many of these mini dimensional backings. I'm trying to keep them all in one space. So that's what I'm doing off on the side here. I'm just peeling off all these little backings. All right, now we'll put that on. I forgot to stamp it before mounting it, because this one I want to just, let's see, we're going to put you, because you guys are fishing. Let's put you more on this side. We're going to put our sentiment on that side. Okay, cute. And when you have these the backs of the people looking at things, it makes it so easy to do so many things. This is going to be a pretty big one. So may all your tomorrows be as happy as today. I think that'll be perfect for here. That's a pretty big one. The other thing I liked about this stamp set so much was that it was a multi-seasonal one. They had I keep forgetting there are snowflakes in this set. Dies or snowflake dies. So if you're looking for an old set, this would be a really good one. I believe it was a two stamp set thing. This is a nice big sentiment. That's going to look perfect there. Oh, we need something really dark, right? Now, my evening evergreen would be really super dark, but I think this color looks more like a mossy meadow or something. I guess I could look at my paper. Let's do that. Let's just glance at that horizon paper and see what these greens are before I start experimenting. Garden green. I would not have guessed that. So let's go with garden green. If I can find it. It must be 2 o'clock already. Oh my goodness. I need to hurry up here. Oh good. It's not quite 2. I still have 15 more minutes. All right. May all your tomorrows... Now my garden green is old. Look at that. You look like you're barely inking up. Oh, not at all, in fact. Let's test you. Not too bad, but I'm afraid. I don't want to mess up my cards. So let's go with something darker. We'll go ahead and do, let's do Just Jade. Just Jade, that one will do. It's a color I never used a ton of, and it's kind of similar. So I think that will work. In fact, Just Jade is the color I thought this was. I might have even used Just Jade for his shirt. Isn't that cute? And again, if you wanted to emboss it, if you had some So Saffron embossing powder, that would look really good. Now you would have had to have bought that with a different name because Stampin' Up! Was never done that I'm aware of. So Saffron embossing powder. You can stamp it with the ink and then do it with clear powder, and that does work, but I oftentimes don't have quite the results I'd like with that method, so I don't use it very often, but it does work. Okay, I like that. Very cute. I'm getting a whole bunch of really great cards I'm going to be able to use. Now I've only got 2 more and we will be done. This one is using that Ready to Ride paper. This is the back of the wrench paper. And this little black, this is going to be a little skinny card. I might put it on a bigger piece. My cardstock is 3 1/4 by 6 1/8. And so this DSP is 3 inches by 5 7/8. So we're going to just glue that right on there. And now this piece is one of the big circles that I cut out from our stitched shapes set. And then I embossed it with our new embossing folder that goes with this set. I think it goes with this set. I love it. It's called Metal Plate. It's nice, really nice. Look at that. Here's a gray version of it. I've gotten a few things done with it because it's just one that I know I'm going to use a lot as I'm trying to get. I never do as many guy cards as girl cards, so sometimes I kind of use an assembly line style when I'm doing guy things so that I have an abundance. Now for this, I wanted khaki looking pants. And so I ended up with, but I started with different colors. I thought I was going to use more pumpkin pie in my background papers, so that's why it ended up the way it is. It would have been better if I just done soft sea foam and then ivory on his pants and the kids' shorts to get a khaki color. This is So Saffron, and I can see that I actually embossed it on the wrong side, but we're going to use it this way anyhow, and I need, I'm putting it on this. That's why I was thinking that doesn't quite work. So I embossed this because it's long. I had to put it through a couple of times, so it's kind of funky there where I overlapped. This is 6 1/8 by 4 inches, and we're gonna just glue that right on there. I think. Boy, maybe I should. I'm not sure. This kind of embossed stuff, sometimes you're better off to do your dimensionals just to make sure it sticks really good, because my glue will stick, but it might make it buckle because it's just not a flat surface for it to grab. So let's just do that, okay? All right, one of my other resolutions to add to your list. I'm hoping you're coming up with some. It helps to get your new year off to a good start when you add some self-improvement things. Now, here's a couple of things it does for you. I'm sure you want to hear this. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda. That's very kind of you. Linda, you probably don't need to hear anything. You're pretty good at taking care of yourself, right? But if you do your resolutions, when you don't follow through, it's very humbling. And that, believe me, for myself, I've found out that's not a bad process to be humbled. So that's not bad. Plus, usually I've stuck with it long enough that it does me some good. It's better than nothing, right? Okay, so there's my circle. I love all the diner, motifs here. Route 66 comes through Springfield. In fact, we have a ton of Route 66 memorabilia all over town. So I love this. This has been really fun for me. I don't want to cover up any of them, but if I have to, I'll cover up the cactus, because Route 66, I'm sure it goes through Texas, right? That would be perfect for the cactus one, but we don't have a lot of cactus here in Springfield or anywhere near. We do have some prickly pear in the garden, but so we'll cover that up. And then I just did a little tiny stitched square of that DSP. We're gonna stick that in there, like, maybe like here. We'll stick the guy with his kid there. Let's see, we want to leave room for just a little sentiment. I don't want a big one. I think we'll put a dimensional in this corner, and we'll just glue that bottom. And yeah, so anyway, I'm just encouraged. Yeah, sometimes when you get to a certain age, you feel like I've done the resolution stuff. It's generally doesn't work all that well. It makes me depressed when I realize I can't even do that and that much of whatever I was asking myself to do. And but really, I think many of the good habits I've ever acquired probably started in January. I mean, that's sad to say, but it's true. So don't give up on yourself. It's not a bad habit to have, even if you don't follow through. It does help you a little bit get nearer to probably what you wanted. It's, again, not bad to be humbled with the fact that you're not even able to follow through on the simplest thing, because it just reminds us how much we need Jesus' grace, because he's the only one who can do anything. I'm like so incompetent. And yeah, so I think one of my resolutions is to get together with our neighbors more. I keep putting it off. Not only just putting it off, I don't want to eat. And so that's made it more complicated. Okay, now, I think with this guy's hair, I did really want to make them redheads. Just because it's Route 66, that's so Springfield, and there's tons of redheads in this area. I think we've seen more redheads here than we ever did in Washington State. Whole families of them with their wonderful little freckled faces. They're so cute. So I did a lot of pumpkin pie here, and then saffron, I believe, is how I made that. We need a sentiment, and I do want to use the actual ones that are on this set too. So let's see what we've got. There's some really good ones. We used this Beside Me All the Way already. We could just do a Happy Father's Day, but I don't really need Father's Day cards all that much anymore. I think I might go back with a let the fun begin again. I mean, this card just to me is like, this is fun. This is super fun. So we'll do that. And we could even stick it in here. Maybe on some soft succulent. Do I have a soft succulent tag? Let's have a look and see if I do. It's possible. I haven't really been cutting out my tags like I was. No, I don't have any soft succulent. So I'm going to grab a scrap of soft succulent paper. And we will stamp with black on that. Let's get the right sized stamp block. Okay, we'll do that. And then let's find the tag I want to do for that. Oh, I think I see it right now. In fact, let me put this away. I don't want you to see too much of this desert details yet, because I'm going to use that, and it's pretty exciting. It's hard. I wish I could just show everything to you at once, because there's just so many cool things. So our little something fancy has this one. I think this will fit it. Let's look. Oh, it will. Isn't that going to be cute? I think that will work perfect right here, somewhere in there. Let me go cut this out. I am not going to drag. I don't have any room to drag my cutting machine over. I've kind of filled up all of the space there. And my magnet's not cooperating, of course. Let me get my other plates out. I don't know why that plate's not working, but it's not grabbing it. So let me try this one so I can get that through a little quicker. These are my new plates. That's so funny. They should be quite flat. My warped plate actually sent it through really easily. All right, so we've got that. And we can stick that right there. I like that. I kind of like that. Maybe there. We could put it right on it also. I mean, there's just no end to arranging things. I really like the paper, but I think I'll sacrifice it. To put the label on here. All right. at our church this week, they did a really strong push for small groups, and I felt guilty that we aren't doing one. I should probably make that a resolution, but I do feel I'm not quite ready for that one yet. That's a big commitment. Love that one. I think this is one of my favorite ones. That texture of the metal plate is wonderful. Last one, and this one I've already again embossed with the metal plate on black. This one I was a little more careful in how I lined it up, so it worked out better. This one is 4 1/4 by 6 and just under 6.5. It should have been 6.5. And then your DSP, if you just cut it in half, you know, you take your 12-inch sheet and cut it at 3 inches, and then just cut it in half at 6 inches, and you're all set to go. For this one, I'm gonna lay it right on this. It's not on a cardstock like this one was. So this one I'm gonna go ahead and just glue down. I think it'll work a little better just glued, because the DSP is a very, very lightweight cardstock, and I think it's gonna work fine without too much warping, and I want to make sure that it stays down really well. All right. Got some glue on me, of course. At least this is right at the end now, so that's the good news. Oh boy, your resolution is to do what makes you happy. Linda, you are being too nice to yourself. No, you're not. You're not. I am too. I mean, seriously, we do what makes. I love doing this. And one of my resolutions is to have card classes. I do need to do that. If I just started doing card classes here, I do think there would be people who would come, but you kind of have to do them, you know. And one of the things that I enjoy doing is just puttering at my leisure. And when you're doing card classes, you don't really have so much leisure, because you're getting ready for those and cutting out everything, and you've got to market it, and it's just adds a lot of work, you know, doesn't it? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I love the card classes. Will someone organize them for me, and then I'll be happy to do them. I don't want to do any of the work of it. I'll go to them and have a great time. I would be a good customer, probably, not such a great card organizer. I used to do it, and they are definitely worth the work, but I don't have this much time. That's really the reason why I'm not doing them, is because Jeff is home a lot, and he's not all that thrilled to share my time with stamping. So I am having a hard time just keeping my regular business going with the limited time I have to put on it. When he decides to retire full-time, I am not sure what that will look like, because he's already grousing around about the couple of days a week that I spend a lot of time stamping. So, you know, he's more important than stamping to me, so we will just see. I'm not going to worry about what I'm not doing right now. He loves substitute teaching. Today he's in Republic, Missouri. Republic is about 10 minutes away, and it is a really nice little place. So he's going to have a great day there today. He said he was really looking forward to it. He only takes jobs that he loves to do. So I'm hoping he'll just keep doing it, because it's been nice for me to have time to do this, and I wouldn't if he was home all of the time. All right, I think that is it. I showed you a ton of cards. We just did all kinds, right? So this is what you can do. I do admit, I'm not going to have time. It's 2 o'clock to get out all of the white cardstock. I like to put it all on white. Many of you are really good about going in then and stamping the inside, and it always looks better when you do that. Thank you so much for your cards that you send me with those all stamped up. It always makes me feel so bad that I don't do that in these. I just don't ever have time, because I wanted to show all of these to you. I stamped these with Memento Black, the guys. And then just colored them in one evening, and then Fussy cut them out on another evening. So really it only takes a few hours to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. We're all done. I didn't do all of the embellishments, and this is the new twine we've got. This is a 3 twine combo pack. It's really nice. Some twine on some of these would look really nice. We've got this. It's probably pale papaya, but to me, this looks like pumpkin pie. Oh, it is pumpkin pie. I'm so glad to see we've got a pumpkin pie twine and a coastal cabana twine. I needed those, so I'm so glad that we have those. And those will be good. This one would be really good with some of our embellishments. We've got these enamel ones are going to go really well with anything that you wanted to use. They're pretty large. Let's have a look at these. I'm trying to limit what I put on that's going to be very high. Actually, those are quite thin. That's not too bad. That's better than they sometimes are. Now there's a compass point. I'm not seeing any of these on this card, but those would have been nice if they had just worked for me, but they really didn't. But there's this, these are the adhesive back studs. Now these, I think, would look really good here. I have used some of them, as you can see, and so we could just place some of these on here, and I think they'd look really good, kind of like tread going on here. Right, we've got black, there's a silver or smoky slate kind of thing there, but that tag just cried out for some embellishment. And then this one, we can do some of the silver ones, like right here. Cute. What do you think? Maybe something more than just that. Let's do one more here. Let's do one more of these, or just a dot. How about, do we want a dot here, or a rectangle, or a diamond? What do you think? What do you think? I mean, I could do these all the way down, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to use too many of them up. I'll just use the rectangle, and let's see how it looks. And then you can decide, next time when you do something similar to this, you can see what you don't want to do. I kind of like it. It's not bad. I really like the rectangles. Those are cool. Of course, it would help if I got it on straight. It's not quite. There we go. That's better. All right, so for every order you put in, if you do a $100 order with me, I think I am going to send you a free package of my nails, actually. These are really nice press-on nails. They are not like you can buy in the store. They're actually real nail polish. And I was thinking of something special for a New Year thing. Maybe a package of nails would be nice. You have to spend $100 worth of products, though, to get that. And if you're doing that, you might as well go full hog and get the starter kit and join our team, because that's the best deal. All right, and I think that's it for embellishments. I don't really want to do too much because I don't want to detract from what we've already got going there. This is pretty just as is. So I am going to say thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. You like the good. I am so glad, Linda. Those embellishments are really nice. You're gonna really like them if you don't have them already. Those are really cool, and I like it when they come out with the unique shapes. I'm not so fond of the sequins. Do you like the sequins? I like the dots better than the sequins, and the faceted dots are really pretty too. But sequins never stay on my cards well enough. I think because it's not is it concave, or what's the other one? I forget how. There's two terms. One goes in, one goes out. I forget what they are, but. Anyhow, the sequins are the disc, they come up. So I think that just flips them up off my card when I'm sliding them into envelopes, because I seem to lose those off of cards a lot more than I do any of the other ones. So I'm not a huge fan of the sequins. I'm glad I don't think I bought any of those this time around. There's probably some in there, but I stuck with the dots. The dots are really pretty. These are those iridescent ones. So pretty. I love those. Next week I'll be back. I think everything's normal. Just again, go in, put in your orders for Celebration. If you order through me, I will send you cards depending on the size order. Again, I'll give you nails if you do $100 order or more, and have to sign out as a customer though. You have to fill in your name and your address and all of that and do a password so that I know who you are. Otherwise, I cannot send anything to you. I do not get any information unless you give it to me. So have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. And oh, you don't like the sequins either. Oh, the glue comes up. I thought it was just me. Thank you, Linda, for saying that, because I thought I was the one not taking care of my sequins very well, and that's why I seem to have those little backing sticky things all over and not on the sequin. But I guess it's not just me if you're having that problem too. All right, bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.